You know, when they come to us, we bury them. You can come now, come later, but you will come. We do burial sites and headstones, and we located in Louisiana. Pretty familiar with the Mossville area, you know. A lot of people come out of Mossville. Mossville is not a big settlement, it's a small community, but a lot of people do die.
Once there was a community founded by free slaves who lived in peace and happiness. A thriving community. We raised our own food. We looked out for one another. We existed. And now, that's gone. It's all gone. Pushed over, drug away.
We hustling balls right now to see who got the most balls. Don't move until the ball moves. Javon hustle.
Don't move till you hit the ball. Wherever that ball go, you go get it. You hear me? Don't you stop hustling. Go for it. Go, get it, get it. Go get it.
Javon got it.
He's just like my mother for everything in the world. Just like her. It's like God never took her away. Yeah, that's her.
Hustle back, Jay. You about to run, Jay.
You gotta run. You gotta hustle for it.
Get where y'all belong.
Hey, we don't have no temper tantrum. You work for what you want.
Raise your hand if you didn't bat yet. He's 4?
Just turn 5. Next year, you're gonna be a terror. Hit it. There you go. I'm gonna have to probably end up getting him a tee so he can practice that.
Spark. I hear it. The plug couldn't be that fouled already again.
From you telling me y'all had to change the plugs all the way back and how it's reacting, I do believe you have blown head gaskets on this thing. I just can't change the water pump and say, hey, take your money. You know,
Most mechanics are just, yeah, okay, we're gonna put a water pump on it.
I can't
do that and the car's still not running, so I appreciate it.
Can't do you like that. All I can do is show you. Well, I started doing this in Mossville out my dad's shop, and they had cars backing up. And my first job I ever done was a Honda Accord, a head job on it. 12 years old, not knowing, going back and forth to the library, reading books, whatever.
Yeah.
When that first little bit of money hit my hand, 800 some bucks.
Oh, it was over. Oh.
School and mechanic work. They used to call me greasy in school because I was so full of engine oil. I was kind of big for my age, you know, but I was like a gentle giant, the bookworm. reading science books, exploring space. I always wanted to be an astronaut where I grew up. You know, I experiment with electricity with the electric Lionel train, you know, blow out the breakers in the house. My father taught me, and I feel that he guides my hand every time I touch a wrench. The things he taught me last a lifetime. And the way my dad died, laying on the ground, nerves twitching, things of that nature, it's vivid in my mind.
One, two.
Cause we are sisters, we stick together.
Oh, you think all of niggas sitting this
I'd have been out of here.
My last name is Jackson. My mother was a Hartman, but we are Fishers. We are who the street is named after, Fisher Street. Let's see. This here is my great-great-grandmother, and that's Mama Allie. Auntie's name is Allarine, but we call her Patsy. My grandfather's name is Earl, but we call him Bug. And this is my grandmother. We call her Tickaday, but her name is Lorraine. My grandmother was the backbone. My grandmother taught me and my children to believe in God and to not back down from anything. This is my great-grandfather. We called him Papo. His real name is Frank Fisher. And this picture and frame is over 100 years old. Our land means a lot to me because my grandfather came here and he built a home for my grandmother. That's our foundation.
After slavery was abolished, there was 7 families that came here, and we built a community.
My grandfather migrated to a place that seemed to be more free.
Oh, well, you got to understand, there's just brutal racial violence after the Civil War through Reconstruction and into Jim Crow, Louisiana. It became this place that was a safe haven for Black families to live and to build a community.
We had our schools, we had our church, we had our stores. We were safe here. Mossville, you were free.
This was one of the most wonderful places to be born and raised in.
Everybody knew everybody. Everybody almost was kin to everybody. You know, you weren't afraid.
We were self-sustaining. That real sense of, you know, we are a community.
All around this area, they had fruit trees, wild plums, muscadine, and pears. But when the plants came in here, all them trees died.
It was one plant overnight, then the next plant, little bit by little bit. And here we are, surrounded by them.
I remember my first drive into the Mossville community. Actually, I cried. You've got 14 industrial facilities where there's tons of leaks, lots of fugitive emissions, and tremendous potential for incidents and releases every day. The facilities operating as though there weren't children, as though there weren't homes where people slept, as though it was not a community. In parts of the United States that are tucked away, this is what industrialization looks like.
Mossville is speaking out tonight, saying they believe the fire at Axial's Westlake chemical plant was worse than originally reported. A shelter in place was eventually issued for Mossville and parts of Sulphur and Moss Bluff.
The public learned of a chemical spill from a pipeline ranging from between 19 to 47 million pounds of ethylene dichloride. It was a spill considered one of the largest in U.S. history.
A federal agency tested the blood of 28 area residents and found high levels of dioxins, chemical compounds that have been linked to cancer, diabetes, and reproductive problems.
As a result of governmental approvals, this is a community that has become transformed. And so finally, it was revealed that, okay, Sasol wants this land.
We're here today to make an announcement that could result in Louisiana's largest economic development project in our state's entire history. That's how important today's news is. That's how exciting today's announcement is. Today, we're here to announce that Sasol Limited could be investing between $8 to $10 billion in providing energy to the rest of the country.
Sasol stands for South Africa Synthetic Oil Liquid, SASOL. And they begin purchasing land in Mossville.
We're in beautiful downtown Mossville. Population 1. We were approached by the project manager. The first offer they announced to me was $2,000. My place is paid for. Putting this fence up, it sends a message to them that I'm not going anywhere. My trailer itself, it's not big, but it's comfortable. It can sleep 5. It's just been holding 1, sometimes 2 if my son comes and visits. He has to live with his mom across the river. Due to all the construction, it's not safe really for him to be here. As you go down the road, every culvert you see was a house. Right here was my grandparents. A chemical company had a massive spill, an EDC spill, ethylene dichloride, taxed the nervous system and things of that nature. But it got into the drinking water. My parents are buried 2 miles away from here. Both of them died from cancer. I lost both grandfathers at 52. Just buried a brother 6 weeks ago to liver damage. I've lost a uncle at 56. He died 30 days after my mom died. I lost a uncle at 37, an aunt at 44. all these complications dealing with cancer. Most of the people moved out of this area. It's just I elected to stay behind because there's no other place for me. My relatives are direct descendants of the people who founded Mossville, free slaves who settled here in the 1800s. I'm just not gonna let them run over me.
We're in the middle of the voluntary buyout area, but to me, they're saying you have no choice. You either stay here and be miserable, or you move out with what we offer you.
Well, basically they're forcing you out. They're going on with their construction right there in Mossville, and we're still living there.
Lily, you want some more pizza?
Easy. Where's your plate?
Your sister, come.
Here, put the sun up in the sun. I don't know where's
Where's your plate, handsome? Who is that, Lily? Auntie, yeah. I moved out of Mossville a few years ago when I got married, but this is still home. My great-grandmother used to live where Axial is, and before that it was PPG. They had their homes, their communities, and they were bought out. And then they moved to Mossville. And so it's like history repeating itself. My mom literally does not know where she's gonna move.
I can not sell my property, but they're not gonna stop building the plant. I'm looking every day, but every day that I look, it seems like everything is getting higher and higher and higher. I don't know where I'm going. To this day, I don't know where I'm going.
This tape holds the testimony from my parents.
Hello, I'm Sandra Ryan, and this is my husband, Alan Ryan. We're all very sick. I've had congestive heart failure, whereas my husband was found with cancer, and he's in stage 4 of cancer, not only in the lungs, but in the liver and the spleen. Why is it the whole community have the same problem? This is a picture of my family. My husband has cancer. I've had cancer. This is my daughter, Destinee. Destinee has endometriosis. She can't have children. My son is not pictured here. His name is Stacey Alan Ryan. He has a big health problem. He has a chemical rash around his neck, problems with his urine. He's having just as many problems in his male area as my daughter's having with endometriosis. He's having these problems. It doesn't make sense for a family of 5 and everybody in the house is sick.
They hurted me real bad. They took everything out of me. Everything. When I say everything, everything. My whole entire life. Everything I had left. They done took it.
We are human beings too. The color of my skin doesn't make me a dog. It doesn't make me a guinea pig. I'm human just like you. I breathe. I think. Yes, I think just like you.
This took place July. September 1st, he was dead. And then within 10 years, my mom stage 4 cancer without her knowing. They rather sit on top of us and dump chemicals on us and wait for us to die so they can get the land dirt cheap.
You know, this is it. This is why I fight. This trailer here, this is all we had. So tell me, would you fight to keep it?
I want to ask you now about the investment case for Sasol stock. Is this a game changer? 14 billion US dollars. The governor of Louisiana extremely excited about the foreign direct investment. In fact, if he's correct, it's the biggest in the history of the US. Let's talk about the funding model. Is it Sasol and Sasol alone?
We will consider other alternatives, but for that specific site, our preference by far would be to be wholly Sasol owned and to run that as a secunda in Louisiana.
Sasol's plant at Secunda is the biggest source of carbon dioxide on the planet.
In Secunda, people have been forced off their land. You have an industry that can pollute at free will.
Sasol was the state-owned energy company established by the South African apartheid government. Countries like Great Britain were saying, we're not going to ship oil to you anymore. South African government said, we will find a way to make our own energy. They established Sasol for the purpose of being an engine for racial apartheid.
We are currently in Sasolburg. Everything is run by Sasol here, you know. Everything in the town is owned by them. We have one huge petrochemical sector, and then we have different chemical plants. There was an area where white people were living, but because of the wind direction, white people were resettled. It's where black people were dumped in Zamdela Township.
Ke tsona tse re bolang tse ntshang di-chemical tsena tse re di dula hodima dintlo le batho.
When you wake up in the middle of the night, that's when you will see what is happening outside Sasol. It's like they're saying, let's pollute them while they are sleeping. Our township is called Zamdela, and many people from rural area were brought to Sasol for job opportunities. They're all coming from the homeland. They came here because they thought their lives are going to improve according to the promises of Sasol. They will come here and they will work here, they will not go back home. That's why they call it Zamdela. It means forgetting about the person.
We are on a daily basis organizing against corporate power, oil and gas companies, other chemical industries, you know. We must make sure that we educate as much as we can so that our people are also participating in the decision-making processes. In Africa, land is important to your life. Without land, you don't have human dignity. Indigenous Basotho people lived there before these plants arrived there, and the land were taken away. And you see that across the world, Africa, Asia, and currently the US.
Environmental injustice and racism are still very closely linked concepts. This idea of disposable others. If people have a different skin color, you can treat them as if they're not human. So they can live in the smoke, they can live in the pollution, they can be the fence line communities.
Stacey's still there, and Sasol still wants his property. Companies like Sasol are used to get in their way. Local public officials decide to rezone the property out there. The planning board basically told Stacey Ryan that you've been living there, but now that your property's heavy industrial, we can't give you any utilities, we can't give you any sewer, water, we can't get you any permits for electrical.
I've had the power lines taken down around my mobile home, being denied water. I had my sewer system destroyed. Anything that could be done to try to discourage me has been done. All blue barrels are my water barrels, chlorined, ready to go. Just, I'm trying to align it a better way where the pump can draw out of more than one barrel at a time. This is a homemade septic system, and it'll steadily drip chlorine in to cut down on the odor. When I need to power up the mobile home or fire up electric heater, turn on the truck, plug them in, this gives me at least 2 outlets where I could turn on my electric burner or heater or power up my laptop and TV for the moment. Right now, my body became full of infection. I had balls breaking out all over me. I have one covering I'm covering up that's trying to develop. So, start wiring this up. That's the sound of the man working on the chain. All right, let be water. That'll work.
At Mossville's peak, the population was a little over 8,000. People are scattered everywhere. Homes gone. Everything you've ever worked for, gone. A lot of people like to use the why didn't they fight, but you could start with slavery. We always fought. It's in our blood to fight. It's natural to fight.
cancer that you gave, sending us to an early grave. Sickness, cancer that you gave, sending us to an early grave.
We say enough is enough. Enough is enough. This is about our human rights.
Sasol buyout is unfair. Sasol give us our fair share. Sasol buyout is unfair. Sasol give us our fair share.
Was Ariana's first protest? Her in Brooklyn. You see Brooklyn in the back? I think that's when the police came out and we had to go. Yeah, a lot of people got arrested that day.
This protest was here?
Yeah, it was for the landfill that was coming to Mossville.
Okay. And they found out they were dumping all that stuff back there before they even got the permit to do the landfill. I do remember that. And that's what the plants do at night. They light up the skies.
Yes, indeed.
Whether you win or lose, you can go quietly or you can say, at least my voice was heard.
I'm addicted to the light. It's like a futuristic city in front of you. Your imagination takes hold and you dream of the future. From a distance, with the eerie glow, that's what it looks like. A city from the future. We're in a strange, strange land here. This place is like no man's land. Since I was little, late at night, you lay on the porch and you could just see these flares go off. You can actually feel the heat. It was beautiful. Dangerous too. But we didn't know that. At night, everybody knows there's their time to get rid of whatever they want to burn off. You can see it rising from the plants. The average person visiting our community, they would ask, what's the smell? But when you lived in it all your life, you don't smell the smells anymore. The plant I worked at, they made vinyl chloride, and it's a known carcinogen. It attacks the nervous system to where your body shuts down. It's well known if you work there, breathing this stuff in, it's sort of like a tire with a nail in it. Slowly, slowly goes down to the point where it take you out the face of this earth. This is my only way to really cook and not burn too much gas on electricity. I was like 11 years old when I planted this thing. The thing gave way due to groundwater saturation. Poor drainage due to all the construction work going on. It just couldn't hold itself up anymore.
There's a fire and then a secondary explosion and another cloud of black smoke, but you know, so that's just a typical day in Mossville. Happens all the time. I guess later on they'll have a report about what happened. We'll know exactly what it was, but this is definitely nothing new. I still do work in the plant. I'm a union Boilermaker. Worked in 5 different plants around here. Right there, ConocoPhillips, they make rocket fuel. Off City Service Road, they make plastics. Jet fuel over here at Sasol. They make a lot of things that really helps the world go round, you know. But I just think they should be away from residential areas. It probably is a good thing that us having to move away from here, but the way they're doing it, it just wasn't right. This is about the 10th house we looked at. Either way, we're gonna be in debt after we move. with the amount of money the Sasol is going to give us. And it's discouraging.
You're doing the buyout from Sasol? Would you be open to a mobile home? If you're open to looking at some bigger 3-bedrooms, that maybe you could double people up or something, you know, let me know about that.
Well,
Okay.
I'm willing to do that too.
It's going to be hard. I know it's hard.
Yeah.
4 bedrooms for
It is.
what
It is.
we're looking for, but
Trying to keep you in that price range.
Okay.
Let me see what I can find. I'll send you an email with options when I can get that done later on.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, keep emailing me, please.
I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel it.
Okay, well, we'll keep looking.
What we gonna slide on next, bud? Come on. Come out the rain, son. The Prince of Lake Charles. You still a prince. You know that? I'm a prince too.
Yes.
Your grandpa was a prince.
And Papa is Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Dad, what's this?
What you got?
What's me? Right.
Him living with his mom is stressful for me. He just cannot live in a trailer with me because of the living conditions now forced upon me. You know, this will be the first Christmas he won't have Christmas inside the mobile home. So it is what it is.
Look, Dad, what's this? I say love.
It's sort of like someone dropping tap water on your skull 24/7. And now they built dirt so high, you can just walk, look down on your property, no privacy whatsoever. You know, constant noise. The fence is supposed to cut down on the noise. Yeah, right. To them, I don't exist. They tell people that no one lives here. I'm treating them like they don't exist. They don't wave, I don't wave back. You know, they turn their head, I turn my head. And that's how we're coexisting out here. Before I could just walk into the woods and cut a Christmas tree, but there's no more trees in Mossville. They're gone. There's nothing but piles and piles of dirt. This here is a Mossville saber-toothed squirrel. Andre came up with that idea. Its body is larger, it's been mutated by drinking the polluted water. Because Sasol cut down all the other trees, it has no food source, so it has to gnaw on this tree right here. His tail is flat because the dump trucks ran over his tail, but he didn't feel it, so it flattened his tail out. It's a Mossville saber-toothed squirrel. Is it still behind? Can't block me. He has the right to leave.
Not on this street. Turn it off.
Free access to my property.
Turn that off, though.
Has to be
You're
maintained.
not on the free street right no more.
Why we're not?
Not on this street.
It has to be to my place. It has to be free reign to my house. You cannot block me from going to my house. In fact, you blocking me right now. This is free access. Yes, ma'am. I need a member of the sheriff department or someone to come out to VCM Plant Road. It's 5th Avenue on the access to the Sasol site. Well, I'm still a resident of Mossville, and I'm having problems getting off my property. Sasol security is blocking the road, won't let me exit off my property, saying that it is now a private road, which is not. It had to be left public for me. I've been fighting this for a year and a half, but more so now the past month, they've been more aggressive with this, denying me access to my home. In fact, they went as far as taking up the road for Thanksgiving holidays where I couldn't get to my home. Yeah, that takes care of that. They said that they were going to log the report.
Come on, Titus. Come on. Me and Titus would take a little walk through the neighborhood. It's our little routine. The kids would run from him because they were scared. There was a lot of people in the neighborhood. We would sit and visit with some of the people at the church, or Miss Bernard, who used to sit on the porch and wave at me all the time. Oh, yes, I miss that. The school is gone. Where my auntie used to stay, they now have an overpass going up. You don't see any traces of us anywhere. To everyone else, all they see now is Sasol. It doesn't look like we were here. They're erasing everything. Everything.
Me and my father. Me when I was little. Now Andre. I consider myself like an old dinosaur, the fossil who stayed behind. You know? They say that you're not here, it's like you don't exist. They've been slowly increasing their buyout amount, trying to get me off the property.
Just give me a little strength. Help your son out. Give him a little strength. Lead you, big man, upstairs, dear Lord. Let me hold out long enough to see my baby raised. I want to see my child raised. Then I can go meet my parents. For some reason, I started bleeding from the ears. I got on the ground and laid on the ground for the longest of time. Just fed up. Fed up with this place completely.
We're at Destinee's house, my youngest daughter, in Maplewood. It's predominantly white, but I'm sure she deals with some of the same things we dealt with in Mossville. She's not quite as close as I am to Conoco and Sasol, but she's just as close to PPG and now Axiol.
So we've moved here to Maplewood, and now Axiol's expanding. Is there going to be a good enough buffer zone between us and them? You know, from where we are now, I don't know. Homes are for sale everywhere. Wherever you go, you really can't get away from it. From generation to generation. We've been forced out of our homes. My great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mom, you know, and what are they going to do with us? I don't know.
Hey, you want to see the truck? You see the truck? That's a big truck, huh? Because of the settlement we got, I've given up looking for a home. So I'm buying a piece of property and I'm putting some trailers on it and possibly renting some trailers to some workers. So I hope when we move, we find a place where we're not surrounded by plants and our water isn't contaminated with something that's poisoning our bodies and it doesn't irritate our skin. And we won't have as many health problems.
I have a photo of my grandfather, and my father looks just like my grandfather. And I look just like my father, and my son looks just like me. As you go down the line and see people die from cancer, is this the fate meant for me? The doctors tell me, you know, I might not even live to see him graduate. Bad as my body's deteriorated. My wish is for him to be far away from this place. To end this curse.
This place right here in Texas, look at the caption. They'll welcome me hand over foot if I do come. Voted best place to raise kids in Texas. Oh, definitely no plants or nothing involved. And voila, the map of the place. Heaven for a kid, you know what I'm saying? Everything is just perfect. This is my dream for him and my future for my grandchildren with him.
By my signature and Stacey Ryan's signature below, Stacey Ryan hereby accepts Sasol's offer. Here you go. You want to sign right here? This will happen fairly quickly, Stacey.
I just can't keep up without some outside support. At this point, I need to do whatever I can as a father and make sure that he's taken care of before my body deteriorates anymore.
You can see all the township from here, and you can see the view of the refinery. We find that black people are continuously being settled in between oil and chemical refineries, depriving people's access to land. Our struggle is a connected struggle. It's a human struggle for human survival.
The more we can see the connectivity between what's happening in Mossville and who we are, I think the more opportunities there is to make the kind of real seismic change that's needed. How many more Mossvilles do we need before we say enough is enough?
I want my kids to look back. I want them to know about my great-grandmother and her home and her street, Fisher Street. That street's named after our family because we lived there. That's where this journey started for us. Every old picture, I'm gonna find it, and I'm gonna keep it, I'm gonna hoard it, and I'm gonna show them their people, and I'm gonna show them the houses that were there, and I'm gonna show them not to let the same thing happen again. You fight for your people. Never forget where you come from. Because you come from a little place called Mossville. So when you're out doing big things, you never forget where you come from.
Once there was a community founded by free slaves who lived in peace and happiness. I want people to know we existed.